Hi, Amrita. Thanks for doing this. We're going to be doing a speaking mock today, and this is your first mock test, right? So
Yes.
it will be very similar to what you find in an actual test, and I'll keep asking you questions. You respond to those answers. I'll keep a track of your time, and towards the end, I'll give you a general feedback with your score.
Okay. Sure. All right.
All right, so
Yes.
let's get started. Yeah. Good morning. My name is
Good.
Aparna, and I'm going to be your IELTS examiner for today. May I know your full name, please?
My full name is Amrita Apinder Pal Singh Chauhan.
Okay. What can I call you?
You can call me Amrita.
May I have your identification, please, Amrita?
So here's the passport.
Okay. Where are you from, Amrita?
I'm from Mumbai.
Okay. All right. All right. So, for the first part of your speaking test, let's talk about friends. Do you have many friends?
I have a couple of college friends and school friends with whom I get along really well. They are highly educated, and I believe that being in their company is a good option for me because I am always engrossed with them in some conversation or the other.
Right. Okay. What kind of friends do you have?
I have friends who are belonging to various sectors. I have a couple of friends who are from the aviation sector. They are pilots, cabin crews, etc. Some of them are in the teaching industry. They are doctorates who are pursuing their doctorate degree in education. Some of them are also pursuing their higher studies from foreign universities. So my friends are not only present in India, but they are also abroad.
Nice. Who is your best friend? Can you tell me a little bit about him or her?
My most closest friend was the one with whom I had spent my entire childhood, I would say. Her name is Ahona, and she has been very attached to me. In fact, we had days when we used to be studying together, we used to be playing together. I remember going out for movies and spending maximum time with her.
Hmm.
I The one thing that I really
What do you
appreciate,
look for? What do you look for in a friend, Amrita?
I believe the trust and the honesty and the fact that there is no monetary bonding that is in friendship. That is the most important factor. So, for example, just because I denied paying money or giving lending some money to my friend, that doesn't mean that she would cut off relations. So, the most important thing that a friend must understand is bonding,
Hmm.
and bonding on a very major level that is going to sustain for long.
All right. Do you consciously try and make new friends now?
I do not really believe in that because I'm an introvert. I first expect the opposite person to take the first step, and if I believe that they are highly interactive or they would like to converse with me, I begin conversing. Not that I am very stubborn or snobbish, but I definitely make uh, a chance. I definitely give a chance to the opposite person to begin conversing with me.
All right. And what kind of a friend do you think you are?
I believe I'm a very helpful friend because I have helped my friends in their difficult times. And as someone has rightly said, a friend in need is a friend indeed. And I believe that if you are good to somebody, the opposite person automatically realizes the good deeds that you do for them. And indirectly, that is going to help you in the long run.
Nice. Okay. So that's the end of your part one. Amrita,
Right.
we'll now move on to part two of your speaking test. I'll give you a cue card. You have
Okay.
1 minute to take notes, and at the end of 1 minute, I'll give you time to speak for 2 minutes. So here's your
Okay.
cue card. I'm sending this on the chat here. You have a pen and paper to take notes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the cue card is describe a discussion you had with a friend. You should say what was it about, whom was the discussion with, and why is it memorable? Okay, these are your three questions. And your 1 minute to take notes begins now. Amrita, now you have 2 minutes to speak on the topic.
All right. I remember one fine evening when my friend Ahona had come over to my house to speak to me about an incident that happened with her. She
Mm,
was new to the city and had never experienced the Mumbai life. The most dreaded thing that she spoke to me about was that she had come across an incident where she had misplaced her purse. She was traveling by the local train, and she had lost her purse because somebody had stolen it.
mm,
The discussion went on for long because we were trying to understand as to how did this incident take place.
mm, mm,
Moreover, when she explained to me about the incident, I was very sure that we were going to trace the thief uh, because she had told me about the area where she had misplaced the purse. Uh,
mm,
the discussion is highly memorable because I remember that when she had lost this particular purse or this item, she had told me that she had told me that I would be able to find it.
mm,
Um, Moreover, I was very sure about the fact that we were, after lodging a complaint in the police station, we would be able to locate her purse, which we did eventually.
mhm,
Uh, the purse was very important to her because it contained some money and jewelry, which
mm.
was very dear to her.
Oh,
And because she's an outstation student, it had some precious things as well.
oh.
She couldn't afford to lose her debit card and her driving license because
That's
there
the
would
end of
be
your 2 minutes. That's the end of your 2 minutes, Amrita. We'll have a discussion on the theme of the cue card.
okay,
My question for you is, why do some discussions turn into arguments?
a discussion would generally turn into an argument when there are several people debating over one issue that has no concrete packing. Generally, when a discussion takes place, people tend to be a little loud in their tone. This definitely makes one believe that the discussion is definitely turning into an argument.
Hmm.
Hence, I feel that at times a discussion lands up into an argument.
Oh, okay, okay. What's the best way to solve such arguments then?
I think the best way to solve such arguments is hearing both sides of the story. For example, if suppose one side of the story is about whether there should be any. So, for example, if a debate is happening on whether children should ban video games. Should children not be allowed to watch video games? The best solution to this discussion could be they could be allowed to watch or play video games for a certain time, but not throughout the day, as
Hmm.
it hampers their eyesight.
Mhm.
So, talking out with talking it out is the best solution.
Okay. What is the best way to talk to someone for the first time?
I believe that in order to approach someone and begin a conversation, uh, one needs to or definitely make a verbal approach in communicating with somebody. For example, if somebody is new to me and has never spoken to me earlier, I would not be sending a message to that person, but I would rather call up or have an oral communication.
Mhm.
In manner, the opposite person can probably understand the tone
Hmm.
and the which I am talking to him.
Okay, okay, okay. Do you think body language is important while talking to others?
Uh, Body language definitely makes a significant indication while we are having a conversation with somebody, because one gets to understand the tone or the signs or maybe any gestures which one makes. For example, if there is somebody who's constantly tapping his or her foot, it indicates that maybe that person is nervous.
Hmm.
Someone who doesn't make an eye contact, which is one of the forms of body language during a conversation, it probably is an indication that they are not paying attention to the conversation, or they are not actually focusing while speaking.
Right. Okay. 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 Can body language be learned?
I strongly believe that body language can be learned because it is a way or a form of communication where one gets to present themselves well. Uh, there are certain etiquettes and manners that one needs to follow while they are in a conference or in a corporate meeting, for example.
Mhm.
One needs to understand that having a certain body language is a reflection of your thought process.
I
For
see.
example, I strongly believe that there could be somebody who is constantly looking here and there while conversing with someone. They may not be able to understand what is going on simply because their
Body language should be taught in schools.
body language should definitely be taught in schools because children need to understand that there is a way to present yourself to the outside world. It is a learning that should be inculcated amongst children right from their school days because it's an early practice. And if that early practice is adopted soon, then later on in life, they will be able to stick to that and it would be beneficial for them in the long run.
I see. Okay, okay, okay. Amazing. That's the end of your speaking test. Amrita, thank you very much. So,
Thank you so much.
yeah, if I have to give you feedback, you have an amazing fluency and coherence, which means at some places in part three, or let's say
Yes,
in part two, you were trying to think of what you should speak. So
yes,
that's exactly what is called content related hesitation, and that's the only thing that you have throughout.
correct.
Your fluency and coherence is at a band 8, right? Now coming to your paraphrasing and vocabulary, so although your sentences are nearly flawless and you're able to paraphrase to some extent, you're able to fit in some good words and idioms, phrases to some extent. At
Yes,
certain places I feel that you're not tapping your potential, so you have to make sure that you challenging yourself a little more in terms of vocabulary. So maybe use slightly more advanced words, especially with part three, or even with part one when you said good option. You know, it's a good option for them, for me too. I feel protected. I feel safe. I feel at home when I'm with such friends. So more advanced vocabulary
is what is required.
instead of elongating the word. So that I'm giving you a 7 there. And coming to your grammar also is like very close to an 8. All you need to do is to avoid the unnecessary addition. You're like, it's great that you're adding phrases and you're trying to, for example, you said eye contact, which is also one of the most important factors, is important. So it's great when you write, but when you speak, the person has to understand what you're trying to say, right?
Correct, right. I was not able to relate with
Mhm.
the.
Yeah, yeah. So try to keep your sentences short and crisp, but also at the same time, there should be a variety. Pronunciation. So at some places, it was definitely seeming like you were having a conversation with me, and that's exactly what is required, right? You have
Okay,
the confidence in your voice and your body language also, and your thoughts are so clearly put. So you don't really have a problem there. But try to consistently use all of these pronunciation features. Like, for example, you did intonate at a few places, or so for example, you said that, and whenever you're placing a comma, you did that, which is a feature that
okay,
the speakers display, and you did that with comfort. That you need to work on.
all right. I'll work towards
Right. Thank you so much, Amrita. And
that.
anyone who's watching this as a recording will definitely benefit from it. Right.